You ready?
And there was a bunch of Ohio State.
Oh, yeah.
They did.
She said she was trying to.
You good? All right, come on.
Hi, Chris.
Hey,
Nice to
Kevin.
meet you formally, face to face.
Yeah, nice to meet you too. Come on, have a seat there.
Thank you.
Hey,
How are you today?
I'm doing good. Hey, real quick before we get started,
Absolutely.
I have a meeting in 12 minutes. So what I'm
12
going to do
minutes.
is put this right here so it keeps us both on schedule. Does that
That's
sound
fine.
good? Because
Yeah.
I cannot miss it.
That's
all right?
fine. I
So, yeah.
asked you for 12 minutes of your time on the
Yeah.
voicemail, and you're giving it to me, so thank you.
I'm doing good, by the way. Thanks for asking.
Yes. So it was brought to my attention by our regional driver in your location that there's been a little bit of problems with the shipping and handling area because of your exponential growth within the past 5 years.
Okay, really?
Yeah, he's mentioned that Brickman Automotive has been good for the past 17 years and
Mhm.
efficient. However, the past 5 years has been exponentially growing, and that's where I kind of want to come into part. I know it's a lot of logistics and everything, but I just wanted to first kind of ask you, how long have you been with the company?
I've been with the company for 8 years now.
3 years. All right, so you've seen the transition of the recent 5 years of growth.
Yeah, I have.
Awesome. So I just kind of wanted to go over some agenda, put an agenda to
Okay.
our time since we were limited. I wanted to get to know more about your role with Frequent Automotive. Then I wanted to dive into the possible struggles that you guys are having or areas of goals, improvements that you want to see in the near future, and then also wrap it around to what UPS could possibly do for you and Frequent Automotive.
Okay, that's fine, yeah.
Is there anything else you would particularly want to cover today?
Well, I obviously want to find out a little bit about what your solutions are that you can help us with, but no, it's fine, go ahead and ask.
Absolutely. So, can you tell me a little bit more about your responsibilities with VP of Operations?
So I'm responsible for logistics, for shipping, for just the overall operations of our basically our store, our plant here. So the shipping needs falls under
Biggest
umbrella. Yeah.
All right. And you mentioned that you've been with us, or with Brickman Automotive for 7 years, correct?
8 years.
8
yeah.
years?
Mhm.
All right. And with Brickman Automotive's mission, how does it correlate directly to your position?
How does it correlate in terms of?
Of what's its biggest asset within Brickman Automotive's mission? So, as for example, for UPS, ours is providing efficiency and customer service.
Yeah.
Is that your, say, tops within your department?
Well, we are very committed to customer satisfaction.
Customer service.
Yeah, that's a big one for us. Our mission is to make sure that we please our customers with not only innovation, high quality products, but also service.
Okay. What goals are in place right now for customer satisfaction?
Right now we are definitely measuring that. We're looking at our customer surveys right now. It's a big deal.
That's how you measure
Yeah.
it with surveys that you get
Mhm.
back. Okay. And are there new goals that you're trying to implement in the new recent, like in the near future? Excuse me.
Well, yeah, that's actually something that we're talking about right now with our customer surveys. They're at 90% positive. We call
90%
positive we have a scoring system that allows us to have a threshold between really negative, but we feel like it's something that wasn't a positive experience versus positive. And we're seeing 90% return rate of those surveys at positive, but we want to see that get to 95%.
That sounds awesome that it's at 9%. I want to focus in on that 10%. What are these issues that customers are having within their department?
So that's a good question because we're seeing some of it has to do with our same-day delivery. Some of it has to do with we have a hard time delivering to some remote locations as well.
Geographically, some locations are harder.
Yeah.
Okay. Ours is there. What about time? Certain day, like within the day, nighttime, daytime. Is there a certain schedule that you see is lacking in areas, like a shipment needs to be somewhere and customer doesn't get it by then?
Well, we just see when we have a spike in business, really, and especially the same-day delivery. We have the nature of our product is that people don't need it until they need it, and they want it pretty quickly. So, and same-day delivery is a big deal to us, and sometimes we get a spike in orders and we're unable to fulfill them all.
So a lot of management is necessary to make sure everything is carried through. With your current vendors, walk me through a shipment.
Well, right now we're utilizing you, and we're utilizing FedEx and USPS. We're really just taking it order by order to figure out what we can get the cheapest rate, and it's really just a matter of us getting in the system, looking at the rates that you can provide us, and then we make a decision on who we're going to use for that particular system.
All right.
Or that particular.
So the biggest quality you see in a vendor would be timing with delivery and obviously price, because that's always going to be a factor with the companies.
Yeah, I mean, price is always there, correct. We want to make sure it's responsibly priced, for sure.
Absolutely. And what have they been offering you? Since you were using different vendors, is there one that's offered you anything more than the other? A certain service or?
No, this is you called wanted to have this meeting, and it was something that we're thinking about, exploring our options.
Absolutely.
With vendors in terms of shipping needs. So we haven't had any other meetings with anybody else yet.
So, as you mentioned, there are some areas like location, so geographical rates, and also same-day delivery. And I know customer service is top priority, and you want that 90% to reach 10 or 100 and potentially even get better.
We want it to be a 5% increase, so we're at 90%. Our goal is 95.
What?
Yeah, so we'd like to see that increase by 95. And we feel like some of the shipping issues probably can help us get there.
Are you seeing that within like a year?
Honestly, probably within a quarter. I mean, we send those out pretty often. We send them with every survey, with every shipment, and we get them back pretty regularly. So we'd like to see those numbers increase.
Is there anything that I was missing with those key aspects of percentage, goals, location, rates, obviously? Is there
Well, I mean, those are the big issues, I guess. Those are the things that we definitely want to talk to you about.
Absolutely. So, my recommendation to you for UPS is that we have something called Quantum View. And this is something that you will be able to access, say, on your phone, on the go. If you're out of the office late and you still need to check something by the time you get home, or when you're at the office, or it's anywhere. It's web-based. There's 4 modules that really go in depth and analyze the data of delivery, and it increases user visibility. Now, this visibility is not only just for you, but also for customers. So it's all in real time using that day-to-day delivery. So if you want something shipped in there by 9 o'clock, you will know every minute what's the current status. And it will analyze the data over a couple weeks, so you will be able to reflect, but also it has the real-time effect that you might be missing out on right now, is what I'm generating off of our conversation so far. Also, I wanted to mention, with using Quantum View, this will also help you cut costs, because when we deliver the product, you also will be able to, or we will charge the product price right away, so you can use that money within your other 4 department responsibilities. So it will be freeing up your time to spend more time elsewhere. Okay. So this is more of a management view to help you overall see the end goal of increasing product satisfaction, or customer satisfaction, product delivery time, and responsibility of checking. So say something goes wrong, you will get a notification within the Quantum View. It will be a distress notification, whether it's weather, God forbid, some natural disaster, anything, you will be notified and able to communicate with your customer. Okay. Is there anything that really pops up, or concerns that you have with that?
you know, our biggest concern overall, I'll just give you that, this all sounds great, but I'll tell you the biggest concern overall we have has to do with just going to a one provider. We feel like we're gonna lose a little bit of leverage, you know what I mean? And we just haven't had the greatest customer service from any of you all, but at the same time, we feel like if we go with one, we're not gonna have any leverage to say we're gonna go somewhere else, so.
Could I put you in contact with one of the companies that we had recent partnerships with? I feel like their situation was a little bit similar, and they had a positive reaction to customer satisfaction that I think you would maybe want to see a different view from an outside source.
Mm-hmm.
If I could provide that information at a later time, or
Are they the same type of business we are? or-
yeah, their company it started off as like a mini Amazon, so it was like not as publicly known, but their shipping products eventually grew over time, and we stuck with the company. So one thing that UPS does is stick with the companies that they have partnerships with. So they expanded their 5-year plan after, and they were exponentially impressed by customer satisfaction. So I would give you the information in a follow-up email, so you can call them and discuss what their relationship with us is.
Okay, yeah,
I think you would
that's fine,
really,
they give me somebody to talk to, just to see what they're doing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
With that being said, is there anyone that you have to report to for, say, sign something today?
Yeah, our CFO she's our big decision maker, Alicia. I have the ability to say yes, I just need to have her in alignment with me.
So what I'm going to do for you, or what UPS can do for you, is I will give you a contract today that will have an expiration date of 72 hours.
Okay.
Within the day of today, I can give you a little bit of kind of like a bonus, I would say, a little extra from UPS, saying 5% off if it's signed today. However, if it's not, I would love to meet with you within the 72-hour time frame, so Monday at 10 a.m. if that's possible with you.
I was gonna say where the 5% is irrelevant because we won't be able to get it done today. She's out of the office, but Monday's fine. So, all right?
All right.
Monday at 10 a.m.?
Monday at 10 a.m.
All right,
Thank
sounds
you so
good,
much,
Kevin.
Chris, for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
Greatly appreciate it.
All right. Okay. So what we're gonna do now is just give you a little bit of feedback. Great job. Take a deep breath now. Our talking's over on your end. So who are our first two? You're gonna go? We're gonna just have two people because
I can say I talked a little too much in the beginning.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how'd you think you did?
Decent. I know I stuck to my script a little too much, and I didn't get through it or give enough time to certain areas, but I was trying to understand more of like his stress aspects, because with the mock trials that I tried, it didn't match up exactly,
Yeah.
unfortunately, and I had this whole like plan. It was okay, so I should have said like day to day with our like quantum view, we can also have you, like, since you're an automotive company, deliveries might change position because their car might be somewhere else in the same day. Well, we have just an extra charge rate where it will notify you that the location is changing, and it will still get to that position that same day.
Yeah.
And it's something that your industry might have. So like there's things that I wanted to say, but
Yeah, of course.
I know this is my first sales
Yeah,
competition.
you did great.
Yeah.
You did really, really
Great,
well. I
yeah.
thought you did really well. I thought, and I don't know if anyone minds if I give feedback
Just
first.
jump
Okay,
right
I'm
in,
gonna
jump
go
in.
for it.
Splash.
I think what you did really well was I saw you hit all of these areas. I think the questioning was really good. You have a really good presence. I think you were really engaging. Your eye contact was great. That can be really hard. You even when in the moments when I could tell you were a little nervous, you sat up straight. You had good eye contact. I think that goes a really long way. So that was really good. I thought every time, you definitely acknowledged what he was saying, and you double checked that you heard it right. So that was great. I think a lot of people get caught in not kind of going back and making sure they got it, and you did that, and you came back to it when you gave your pitch. So that was good. I think you knew kind of what you did. I think some of the nerves, maybe a few times you weren't as concise as maybe you wanted to be, and that's nerves. Like you'll work that out, right? but sometimes maybe you kind of talked yourself in a little bit of a circle, or you knew you wanted to say something in your head. And that's the hardest part, I think, in these competitions, is being able to think on your feet, and that's something that you're going to develop over time, but I think you did better than you thought you did in that respect. So I thought you did a really good job. And if that was your first one, great job. It's not easy to do, so awesome.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
I would like to just echo a lot of the same points. I can tell that for your first time ever, you've got a lot of the knowledge and a lot of the application. It's just fine-tuning that. I really liked how you handled the objection over, I'm not sure if I'm going to lose some leverage. I really liked your outside-of-the-box suggestion about, let me bring up an advocate that's somebody that's similar. One thing that I would caution a little bit, and I have no doubt that you'll perfect this, is that if there's ever an objection, you don't want to run the risk of potentially delegating it to someone else, saying like, well, here's an objection, you can talk to someone else about it. You want to take a little bit of the ownership. I mean, I'm not saying that your approach was wrong at all, but be a little bit more nuanced and continue to use that. It's just another good arsenal to have in your bag. So yeah, very good job.
And you kind of skipped the A and the E in layer. So you jumped right, you had a good response. The response was great, but you didn't build to it by asking enough explore questions. So, I mean, you had a great response ready, but you got to acknowledge, like, oh, totally understand your view. Why do you feel that way? I mean, is it from past experiences? Dig into that just a little bit deeper, so then your response hits home even harder.
I'm gonna say, oh, go ahead.
I was just going
I
to
know,
say,
running out.
on the Carew end and following the process, the questioning was outstanding. Great exploratory questions. You did a good job of really understanding goals, asking right to the point on that, and asking that in a way that didn't seem really salesy. It just seemed like you were interested. The presentation was very nice and smooth, and you related everything back to that gap of increasing customer responses. So great job. That's the hardest part. Fine tuning.
That's the hardest part.
The questions are hardest part.
Yeah.
Find a gap.
Yeah.
Believe me, it is,
Yeah.
and not wanting to jump so quick to that solution. Couple fine tuning points. Start off a little bit more with that positive contact. I know you guys saw the day was going, we got a little choppy there. So just roll with that for a second, not for a long time, but just that's a way to really start the meeting off in a nice manner. And then the second thing, I'll echo on layer. I just need that verbal hug. Just give me some, oh, that sounds really tough. What happened? Why do you have those cut? I'd be more apt to call that person if I understood that you understood what our actual customer service problems were, not a general sense of what the customer said, because you can.
No, I wasn't
right? So,
emotionally
yeah, so that's the reason why. But I just want to say, hey, this is a great first one. This is our first one, so this is fantastic. So great job. Okay. And did you have another point?
I was gonna say what you said. Just,
Okay.
I think it helps you too to ease the nerves if you say something, like talk about something, personal connection at the beginning, but.
Helps you catch your
I
breath.
was supposed
Helps
to
you
ask
kind of
about
ease into
Purdue
it.
and say, oh, my cousin was
Of
in the
cou-
band,
yeah,
which
exactly. See,
actually
you
he
knew you were
was.
gonna do that.
What happens when the nerves kick in? But yeah, no, I appreciate it.
All right, good job.
Thank you so
Don't
much.
worry about it, Kevin, you're in first place.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks. I'll make sure to tell my advisors.